Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday's Tip. That's right. Diana Lidstone here, your growth strategist and business accelerator. So today I want to share three particular things with you. Number one is, knocked over some stuff. Number one is, what could you let go of and what could you double down on? And I'm going to talk about that. Number two is, I'm going to talk about the competitive dilemma. And number three is, I'm going to share with you some exciting changes that are coming to my business and to my brand. So let's get started. Under the guise of what could you let go of and what could you double down on? You know, every January, and I'm sure you're no different, you go through this idea of, looking at your business, whether it's your finances, whether it's doing some strategic planning. And for me, I look at what have I done really, really, really well, and could I double down on that? And the second is, what didn't work so well, and what could I let go of? And this whole process is actually taken from Toyota. Toyota, the car brand name, and they have a term called, and I don't know if I pronounce this right, but Kaizen. So it's Kaizen. And it's the process of constantly tweaking and moving forward. And that's what I try to get all of my clients to do, including myself. So what did that lead me to? What can you let go of and what can you double down on? So what did that lead me to? It led me to some changes that I'm going to talk about in my brand and in my business. But before we get to that, I want to share with you a little something about the podcast episode that I launched today, Marketing Lessons I Learned from My Fishing Adventure. And it's very funny. It's probably not something that you would expect from me. But what that taught me was that here I am creating a series for, my dream client about niching down. And then I looked at my own business and I went, I have to do the same. And so I teach what I know works for my clients, and I teach what I know has worked for me over the years. And so that leads me to, what changes if you're following me, that you might see coming up. And that we all suffer from this thing that I call the competitive dilemma, right? There's a lot of noise out there in the marketplace. You are competition is more and more all the time, especially since COVID, because the marketplace has evolved, has gotten even bigger, right? So the marketplace has gotten bigger, and there is this real competitive dilemma out there. And it's, how are you going to get noticed? How are you going to get chosen when there is so much competition? And again, that's what this whole podcast episode that I talk about, Marketing Lessons from My Fishing Adventure, is all about. It's all about how do we overcome that dilemma. And one of the ways that has worked for myself, has worked for my clients time and time again, is what I talk about in the podcast episode. So what changes will you be seeing in my brand as we come forward? So the thing is that you will see that emails will be going out on a different date. The podcast episodes are launching on a different date. I'm moving things around so that I can create this real 72-hour marketing campaign around the core of my business, which is that podcast. We're going to be renaming the podcast as we go forward. Renaming, rebranding, all those different things. There'll be some simple changes to my website, but I'll also be calling out to a different kind of client. So What did I talk about today? For those of you who just joined me, thank you so much. Hashtag live in the comments, hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Number one is, what can you let go of and what can you double down on? Number two, how can you overcome the competitive dilemma? And the competitive dilemma, you can, go to the podcast episode that you'll see here. And then some changes that are coming to my personal brand because I have followed my own advice. So those are Tuesday's tips. Every Tuesday, it's my intention to go live 3:30 in the afternoon. You'll be able to catch me either on Facebook or LinkedIn. And thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.